This is a quick introduction to the Spitzer Heritage Archive. From the IRSA main page, click on Spitzer, and then click on Spitzer Heritage Archive. By default, it drops you into a position search, which is the most common search that people do for Spitzer data. You can put in a name and have Ned or Sinbad, or Sinbad then Ned, resolve the name. Or you can put in coordinates in any of a variety of units. I'm going to put in M16, and you can see below the box, it's resolved the name so that I can be sure that it's understood me correctly. Next, I need to put in a search radius. If I want to change the units, I have to change the units first and then put in the number. Otherwise, it will change the number to reflect the change in units. Then I need to request what search results I want. An astronomical observation request, or AOR, is the fundamental unit of Spitzer observations. I recommend that you always leave that checked because that is the most compact way to view Spitzer observations. Level 2 or post-BCD PBCD results are the highest level products produced by the Spitzer pipeline. They're produced on an AOR basis, and I recommend that you leave that checked too, because if you're looking to see whether or not the observations are relevant to what you're doing, this is going to include mosaics and extracted spectra. So it'll be easiest to tell if the data are relevant for your purposes from the level 2 data. Level 1 BCD frames, those are output from the pipelines, but those are individual frames. They're not combined mosaics or extracted spectra. You may want to return that for your searches. These 3 tick boxes are extracted products that involve more than one AOR. IRS enhanced products are data products produced by the IRS team at the Spitzer Science Center. And SEIP is Spitzer enhanced imaging products. These are data products, again, produced by teams at the SSC. It includes all the cryogenic era data, but it also combines all of the available data, all of the available AORs for a given position on the sky for the 4 IRAC bands and MIPS 24, and extracts the sources down to a certain level. From the search page here, you can also apply additional constraints, but for these purposes, I'm just going to search. Now it's come back with one tab for each of the tabs that we requested. Over here on the right-hand side, it gives us more information that changes corresponding to what we've selected on the left. By default, in the foreground is something called depth of coverage, where it's giving you a representation of how many frames there are on the sky. But it's actually more useful to go to the data coverage tab. Because I do have so many tabs, the data coverage tab sometimes takes a couple seconds to load. This is a representation of everything that it found. All of these polygons represent the footprints from the AORs, the post-BCD products, the BCD products, the IRS enhanced products, the super mosaics, and the source list. That's in here. It's all overlaid on that 2-mass hips image that's in the background. If you want to change the colors, you can either click on the swatches here on the tabs, or you can go to the layers here and change the colors there. For the moment, let's turn off the source list. Let's go over here and let's zoom in. The individual BCDs are also pretty dense. Let's turn off the individual BCDs. Now you can start to see more of the layers of information that are present in this coverage map. Let's go to the level 2 tab. Now each one of these polygons that I'm clicking on the left are highlighted in the coverage map on the right, so you can see which they correspond to. If I go to the data preview tab, then it shows me a preview of the data. This one happens to be a MIPS 70 micron image, and you can see that it's overlaid the sources from the source list on the mosaic. If I go to a MIPS 24 product, you can see that it's a long, thin map. Let's see if we can filter this down to, say, just the IRAC data. Here it's overlaid the source list. The source list, there's a lot of sources in it. If we go here, you can see there's 3,500 sources. So what it's done is it's binned them up. If you zoom in, you can see the individual sources. If you zoom out, it puts it in these cells. If you want to change how those cells are shown and what colors and symbols they use, you can do that from the layers here. There are other movies that go through in more detail what all of these icons do to the tables and what all of these icons do for the images. There's a lot of capabilities here, but in short, there's a lot of power in the tools that you have here for the images and here for the tables. There's also plotting that you can do here. In the context of the BCD tab, the plot is kind of boring because it's just the positions of the BCDs. But in the context of the source list, it can give you a more sophisticated plot. By default, it's giving you an RA and DEC plot, but you can change what's plotted. let's go up here, and instead of RA and DEC, let's do the I1F aperture 1, so that's the flux from IRAC 1 from the first aperture, and then let's do the error in that, and then let's make it a log-log plot, apply, close. Now you can see a plot of the flux against the error in the flux. There's also some IRS enhanced products here. If we go here and go to data preview, it understands that this is a spectrum, and not only that it's a spectrum, but there's many orders in the spectrum. It's assigned different colors to the different orders, and it's plotted the errors on the spectrum correctly. Because it recognizes that it's a spectrum, you have additional choices in the plot. You can redshift it, and you can change the units if you'd like. You can also grab additional catalogs. If you go over here, you can add additional tabs. You can do more sophisticated searching within the Spitzer universe. You can also get catalogs from a variety of places, from the rest of the virtual universe world, from NED, or from IRSA. You can go and grab additional catalogs, say from WISE, and add that as an overlay in the results tab as well. To download data, you can select from the rows and then click on Prepare Download. Depending on where you are when you initiate that Prepare Download, you have different choices. From the AOR level, if you initiate Prepare Download, you can get a whole bunch of ancillary products. From the Enhanced Products tab, Prepare Download, you may be able to get the additional products here. But from the Super Mosaics tab, if you Prepare Download, you have different choices. From the Post BCD level, you might want just the Post BCD products, for example. So depending on where you are when you initiate that request, you may have different choices. If you just want the catalog, you can just click on the diskette and save just that catalog. Let me highlight in particular the Data Collections tab, specifically because of all of the legacy teams from Spitzer who delivered huge amounts of data back to us here at IRSA, and similarly Herschel. There's a lot of data that have come back to us at Spitzer from all of these projects. Let me encourage you to go searching through all of these additional data products. There's some really amazing data products that have been delivered. Images, spectra, catalogs, not just from Spitzer data, from other observatories as well. So I encourage you to take a deep dive into what additional data there are available, because you might find some really excellent data products that meet your needs, even beyond just Spitzer data. Keep in mind also, there's lots of online help, including context-sensitive help that you can access at any time to give you more information about what you're seeing in the interface.